Where can you find some of the world's best chocolate, cool jazz, and one of the most beautiful central squares in the world? It's all in Brussels, Belgium's capital city, oozing with international flavor, hip shops, European cafes, and historic architecture. We're diving in with a local guide and a top chocolatier to discover some of the not-to-miss sights and experiences in Brussels, including the Grand Place, Brussels' annual jazz weekend, an addictive chocolate workshop.
You can call it orgasmic chocolate, an hazelnut cream with Piemonte hazelnut.
And more on this episode of the Travels with Darley podcast, taking you traveling with the locals to experience great food, culture, history, architecture, and what makes places just so darn interesting. A great way to get an introduction to Brussels is by taking a walking tour. Longtime resident and local tour guide Sasha Seggai meets me in Brussels' Upper Town, where the Royal Palace and many government buildings are situated. He's walking me to one of the biggest attractions for travelers in Brussels.
Here you really see the difference between the Upper Town and the Lower Town. The Upper Town is where the official institutions are and also museums. And the Lower Town is with many bars and narrow streets, people working. Since Brussels is existing, you can say it is like this.
We walk into the Lower Town to admire the Grand Place, the main square and gathering place in Brussels. It's teeming with tourists, with many, like me, getting a bit dizzy. My head swivels round and round, admiring the opulent Baroque guild halls and edifices.
Sasha, this really is a beautiful square.
So we need to thank the French for this beautiful square, although the French did not build it. But the French, they destroyed everything here. It was a long time ago. It was in 1695, and if you look on the facades, for instance over there, you can see it took only 2 years to rebuild it, the house over there. Many houses were rebuilt in a very short time. It was a Sun King, you remember maybe, Louis XIV. And Louis XIV, he sent his Marshal, Maréchal de Villeroy, to Brussels. And Marshal de Villeroy, he did come with his cannons, and he put his cannons on a hill not so far from here, and he took City Hall Tower, and he missed his target. But all the rest was destroyed. You know, it were the guilds who did rebuild the square, the corporations. They wanted to show that they still were important. They wanted to show they're prestigious. But that actually, they actually did lose a lot of money, because in those days it was already the free market economy that was developing. And so the guilds, they didn't have much to say anymore. One of the houses is still a guild house today, you can say, and that's the house where the Belgian beer brewers still meet each other. It's written on the facade. So it's a house with a golden statue on the top. In Belgium, we never want to have the same facade as our neighbors. We are very individualistic. It's also easy to find your home back in Belgium if you're drunk, of course, but I mean, very typical.
There's a lot of beer here.
Yeah, definitely. And that's always, almost all the time, you see many people here. And although you see many, many tourists, the local people also like to come just to the square to feel like this is really something exceptional we have here in Brussels.
Sasha departs to lead a tour, but before he goes, he tells me some places I should check out that are close to the Grand Place, which I can now recommend also to you. I weave through Rue des Bouchers, Brussels' restaurant row, to check out Chez Léon. It's been welcoming locals and travelers alike for over 100 years. The restaurant's specialty is mussels and frites. If you're walking in this area, you might also want to stop to see the mannequin piss fountain. You kind of have to. A statue of a boy urinating. It's a symbol of Brussels, and depending on the time of year, may be adorned with a costume. After lots of city walking, I'm having an afternoon treat, getting an introduction to the diversity of Belgian chocolate with Laurent Gerbaud, a top chocolatier. In his workshop and cafe in Brussels, Gerbaud invites the public to learn about and help make a variety of chocolates during chocolate workshops. One of his personal specialties is chocolate accented with spices, dried fruits, and nuts to combine salty and sweet flavors.
It smells so good in here, and it looks so good. There's so much chocolate.
Yeah, always try to mix just two ingredients, one chocolate, one fruit, or one chocolate, one spice. I hate fusion cuisine in the chocolate. It's a total mess because
You're
you have
a purist.
No, it's just that if there are too many ingredients in the chocolate, you don't taste the chocolate anymore. I like to make it very simple and addictive. So you have one, you need another one.
Well, I will definitely have more than one, so what should we try first?
The blend of the house, we call them aromatic cacao. So this one is made from cocoa beans from Madagascar, Ecuador, and Peru. So it's Trinitario and Cacao Nacional genotypes. They're very, very fruity, very powerful, very long-lasting taste. And once you're used to this, it's like going from cheap wine tasting vinegar to very expensive wine with a fantastic taste. So this is more or less a comparison you could do. So my only purpose here is to get you addicted to my taste, and then you never go in any other places.
So you're gonna spoil me with amazing, expensive chocolate.
Yes.
And I'll be calling and getting more
I'm
chocolate
sorry
from
for you. I'm so sorry.
I like it.
Good.
All right. That's some good chocolate. It has a really, really rich flavor.
Yeah, and there's nothing added. It's really pure cacao.
Very good. I think I'm gonna need more of this one. All right, what should we try next?
It's Persian cranberries, and you must first take off one berry, you chew it, and with the saliva you will rehydrate it. So it's only at that time that you have the taste, and then you take the chocolate.
It's a little tart, a little sweet. It's really good.
Alors, the last one to try, you can call it orgasmic chocolate. An hazelnut cream with Piemonte hazelnut.
It's a hazelnut explosion.
Yes, and it's very long lasting also. It's like 1 minute, 2 minutes.
That's my favorite
Great.
so far. But I have to explore.
Yeah, we go to the shop.
Yeah.
The shop is dangerous territory, but a great place to buy gift items for friends back home. Gerbaud is one of just a few chocolatiers that offer hands-on experiences with chocolate in Brussels. Brussels is a musical city, and you can find jazz pretty much year-round, with bigger events and festivals in the winter and in the spring, like Brussels Jazz Weekend, one of the capital's biggest open-air festivals. There's music throughout the city, including lots of free events and performances, like the one I'm experiencing back in the Grand Place. It's magical when you can combine awesome food with architecture, culture, and history in one vacation. In my time in Brussels, though it was a work trip, filming for my TV series Travels with Darley and taping for this podcast, it sure was a lot of fun. Thanks for joining me on another adventure with locals as the guide on the Travels with Darley podcast, taking you around the world and back again home.